With the latest live stream for Tokyo Game Show showcasing Monster Hunter Rise's overall gameplay using the dual blades and the longsword, I thought I'd go ahead and just take a look at some of the attack patterns that they did that I found to be quite interesting, especially ones involving the wire bug. So today we're going to take a look at the attack patterns that we get to see in Monster Hunter Rise for both the dual blades as well as the longsword. Hey everyone, KordaPinoyX here once again, back with another Monster Hunter Rise video. So today what we're gonna take a look at is the preview for the dual blades as well as the longsword in terms of the overall attack combos that we can see during the live stream for Monster Hunter Rise in Tokyo Game Show. Now the idea here is to see the inspiration behind these two weapon types, especially when taking a look at some of the attack patterns based on the wire bugs. So we are gonna do a bit of a comparison between the original clip from Monster Hunter Rise and then gameplay from other games in which these weapon attack patterns are inspired by. So we're gonna first take a look at the dual blades and some of the inspiration for the attack patterns on the dual blades. Taking a deeper dive into the gameplay of the dual blades in Monster Hunter Rise, we can observe that the gameplay for the dual blades is a culmination of both the Iceborne main gameplay for the dual blades and then utilizing the adept style for the dual blades afterwards whenever you use the wire bug attacks. Now, one of the key things that you'll notice here when utilizing the dual blades is that the moment that the hunter dodges an attack, they're actually dealing damage to the monster. This is how the adept style is incorporated into the Iceborne playstyle of the dual blades going into Monster Hunter Rise. So this is basically mixing the two worlds together in order to create one unique entity. Alongside this, the dual blades actually has two new attack patterns in Rise that have not been seen before in previous Monster Hunter games. One of them involving the wire bug and the other one involving the Archdemon mode. We're gonna take a look at those a little bit later on. For now, let's go ahead and take a look at a demonstration that compares both the Generations Ultimate and Iceborne attack patterns to the ones that we see in Monster Hunter Rise. Now, outside of the movesets that we got based on World and Iceborne as well as Gen Ultimate, we also got to see some new attack moves exclusive to Rise for the dual blades. The first one is where the wire bug wraps its wire across the monster and then over time, the monster takes damage. Now, after observing this clip multiple times, I could actually see a dagger on the monster's head, and it seems like the hunter pulls that dagger automatically from the monster's body part and the monster takes damage. Not quite sure on how that functions as of yet, but that is what I got out of the observation from this particular attack pattern. So the other attack that we got to see that's brand new for the dual blades is the new Archdemon Dance. Now the reason I call it the Archdemon Dance is because you can actually see the hunter is in Archdemon mode, their stamina is not being consumed but they have the red glow on their hands, meaning Archdemon mode. Now you can see that this combo is really new to Monster Hunter Rise. We haven't actually seen this combo before, not even in Iceborne. Now the ending is gonna be based on Iceborne's original Archdemon Dance, but you can see that this is an extension of that particular combo. So this is new to Monster Hunter Rise in terms of the overall execution of the entire combo. Now shifting into the longsword was really unique for me in that as I continued to observe a lot of the attack patterns for it, especially for the wire bugs, I kinda just realized that a lot of the attack moves for the longsword in Rise are based around the ones that we got in Iceborne. This means that the only real transition here is transitioning from something like the Clutch Claw into something like the wire bug instead. Now having said that, we did get to see at least 2 attack patterns based on Generations Ultimate here. The first one was on the trailer where we actually got to see the hunter do 2 round slashes based on the Sakura slash in Generations Ultimate, and the other one is in the live gameplay where they actually do a wire bug counter almost similar to that of the Critical Juncture Hunter art back in Generations Ultimate once again. So aside from those 2 attack moves, everything else about the longsword here is mostly based on Iceborne. In fact, in this demonstration, you're gonna notice how many attack patterns there are based on Iceborne's iteration of the longsword in comparison to previous Monster Hunter games. Now, all in all, as you can see with Monster Hunter Rise, the transition from Iceborne into this game is gonna be there still for the longsword users out there, but a lot of the attack patterns that you are familiar with Iceborne is gonna be applicable to Rise as well. It's just that the controls are gonna be different because you're now utilizing a completely different toolkit here. You're no longer utilizing something like the Clutch Claw, instead you're utilizing the wire bug. So do keep that in mind. There is still gonna be that transition moving on from Iceborne into Rise in terms of controls, but a lot of the attack patterns that you are familiar with from Iceborne is gonna be applicable to Rise as well. And that is pretty much it for this video, taking a look at the dual blades and the longsword in Monster Hunter Rise and comparing their attack moves to something like Iceborne and Generations Ultimate. Hopefully you have found this information quite useful and you have a better idea as to what toolkits are going to be available to you with these particular weapon types coming up in Monster Hunter Rise. Once Capcom reveals more information on the other weapon types as well, and maybe a bit of a gameplay preview, or even better if they give us a demo of Monster Hunter Rise, I will go ahead and do more of these comparison videos so that you have a better idea as to what toolkits are going to be available to you transitioning from something like Iceborne going into Monster Hunter Rise. Now with all of that being said, what do you think about the dual blades and the longsword in Monster Hunter Rise? Let us know in the comments below what you think about the movesets available to us coming up in Monster Hunter Rise this March for the Nintendo Switch. And with all of that being said, if you enjoyed these videos, please consider leaving a like on the video itself and subscribing to the channel as well as hitting that bell icon so you can go ahead and catch up on any future Monster Hunter content that I might be doing or any other games that I might be playing in future. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this video, thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Onward and upward.